Welcome to Deluxe WP Contracts, your all-in-one solution for seamless contract creation and management. Whether you're handling complex business agreements or simple client contracts, this plugin streamlines the entire process. With just one initial setup of your settings and templates, generating contracts becomes quick, easy, and efficient. No need to repeat the setup for each new contract. Everything is done for you in just a few clicks. In this tutorial, I'll guide you through the key features that make contract generation a breeze, ensuring you can focus on what matters most, your business. Start with the company information section. Add your logo, and all relevant company details, like your company name and address, will appear at the top of the contract. If the logo is uploaded, it will show above the company information. In the email management section, as you can see here, the first field determines the email that will send contracts for signatures, while the from email and name will appear as the sender. You can customize these fields as you please to change how your clients see your incoming emails. The from name defaults to your website's domain, but you can clean it up as you please. Customize the subject and message that clients will see, as demonstrated here. When modifying the email message, you change what the client's message will be. The message will replace the line below the first line of the email. Now let's move on to the next and final section in the settings. In PDF file settings, the owner password restricts editing, while the user password ensures only those with it can access the contract. The user password generally stays empty unless you need more security on who can see the PDF. For the owner password, you might want to make it more difficult so that your clients cannot change the permissions that you see below. You can set permissions and modify metadata, though keeping defaults is fine unless you're sure of the changes. Don't forget to save your settings. The next thing we need to do to set up the system is to make your contract template. This section in the template creation is your terms and conditions, where you can choose from different predefined industry examples and modify them to fit your specific needs, or you can create your own custom terms from scratch. Be sure not to overwrite your saved custom terms by selecting another example and saving the page again. The predefined lists are fixed, but you can toggle them on or off, while custom lists allow full customization. Add text or number fields as needed and mark them as required. When choosing a field, you can choose as many text or number fields as you need. If you select a number field, you may only type in numbers when filling out the contract form. The required checkbox will make the field required when filling out the form, which will force it into the contract. Otherwise, you can leave the field blank in the form, and the contract will be generated without it. Now with the dynamic list, you will be able to populate them when you fill out the form. You can see that it must be the only item in the header. The contract header will allow you to modify the title and intro of your contract. The seller or buyer types would be seller, investor, contractor, etc., and identify the product or service. In the footer, you can customize the name below the signature field. The payment calculator simplifies cost calculations with predefined values. Once you've filled out everything, save your settings and preview the contract to see how it looks. You can see all the fields we added are in the contract. All the custom lists you created will show up here as well. You can see the signature section and where the signatures will show up, whether signed digitally or printed out to sign locally. Roy is being pulled from Wordpress because we chose username as the signed by tag. It uses the full display name. In this situation, Roy doesn't have a last name in WordPress. Now that everything is set up, all we have to do is press Create a new contract. At the top of the form, you'll see the contract name you set. Fill in your client's details. And if enabled, a cosigner field will appear. If it's empty, only the main client will receive the email. Here, I'm filling out the predefined list example, followed by the custom list we created. If any fields were marked as required, they'll need to be completed. You can see how easy this is. All we did is set up once, and every time we need a new contract, we just fill out this form. This is one of the custom lists that we added in the settings with predetermined fields that we can always give a different value to. The custom dynamic list allows you to add new items on the go with options to include text, price, and more. You can easily add here anything that you would need to be dynamically added. If you mark only the Requires Text checkbox, the field will show up just as they did in the section above. When we mark price, it adds a $ before the number you input, and when we only fill in the option name, only that field will show up with nothing after it. In this example, I put it in the name of the paint company. After filling out everything, hit Review to double-check. You can edit, download without sending an email, or send emails to sign. Here I'm showing how the client receives the email. This is the same email that we put in the client information on the form. Here we can see the email as we set it up in the email settings. When we press on the link, it will take us to a page that shows the client the contract and what they are about to sign. All the details that we filled out in the form are now showing here, available for the client to review before signing. At the bottom of the page, we can see the signature pad that the client will use to sign the contract. The pad allows for clearing the signature if anybody messes it up. After submitting the signature, you will see that the signature is saved and the client cannot go back and sign again. I'll also show the admin signature process, which confirms the client's signature at the bottom. Finally, a PDF copy of the signed contract is sent to both parties, including the document ID and IP addresses of the signers. I will first show the signed contracts page. This page will show you all the contracts that you created that were signed by all parties. Here you can view the contract, download the PDF file, redo the contract, and delete the contract from your database. I will press on View Contract so we can see our contract. You can quickly search through your contracts using the fields above the table. I'll show the redo function, which pre-populates previous data, allowing you to quickly send out a modified contract. In the All Contracts page, you can see all contracts that were created, whether they were downloaded directly, signed, or not yet signed. You can search and filter between contracts that were downloaded directly and contracts that were sent out to be signed digitally by email. If a contract was downloaded directly, the No Email Download checkbox will be marked. Otherwise, you will have contract trackers. These trackers are when an email is opened, when a contract is opened, and when a contract is signed. The same 4 buttons are available to view, download, redo, and delete the contract. On the Manage User Roles page, we can control the permissions that users have with the plugin. Some roles might be for a supervisor or a representative. On the left side, you can add new custom roles that you create and assign any capabilities that the role will be allowed to do. On the right side, we can manage existing roles. We can see what capabilities they have, update the role's capabilities, or delete it completely. Now I'm going to add a role and call it Manager and give it some random capabilities. When I select our newly created role on the right side's dropdown, we can see the capabilities that we gave it. When we scroll down, we have the Assign User Roles section. Here we choose which user will be able to have access to the plugin's features and what features they have access to. The first role that you see in the table is always the WordPress role. The roles after the first comma are the plugin's role. This plugin will not interfere with other plugins that rely on roles. Now all we do is select the user and the role from the dropdown and press Assign or Unassign, and the user's information will be updated and they will have the capabilities that you allowed for them. With Deluxe WP contracts, you can streamline contract creation, manage your contracts, manage roles, and get signatures effortlessly. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or need further assistance, visit our website or reach out to our support team. Don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials and updates on new features. Happy contract generating, and we look forward to helping you simplify your workflow.